doing? This is Crash Into Me by Dave Matthews Band. It's Doug Edgell here from fingersonthefrets.com. Hope you've been enjoying some of the videos I've been posting up here for free, but please go to my website. I know it's a pay site, but don't be afraid. If you want something good, you got to pay for it sometimes. So I'm going to put some teasers up here on YouTube for you all to see. I don't play it the way Dave Matthews plays it because he must have a stronger hand than me. I'll just say it, you know. He plays it like this, with the fourth finger down here on this E. And to play that, you know, a little different. He's got the two E's here, fretted E and the high E open. But I found in teaching this to so many different people and playing it live at a gig, that hurts your hand after a while. So what I do is I play this shape, which is basically they call it C sharp minor 7, no fifth, you know. And what happens is I get a B here and another B and then an E. So there's two B's instead of two E's, but I don't really care. I don't think Dave Matthews would care either. So makes it much more playable. The only challenge is to keep the little finger there the whole time. So here are the shapes. And then we're going to release the third finger and this becomes A sus2. Then we're going to do a hinge bar over the 5th and 4th strings and this becomes E5 over B. And then we're going to hit the low E with that and that becomes E5. Then we're going to take the third finger and place it on the G sharp on the low string 4th fret. Change the hinge bar to just the E note here with your first finger. And then angle your third finger so it mutes out the 5th string and you have E over G sharp. Then you release that, play the A5, or I'm sorry, A sus2 again. Then you're going to go back to the E5 over B with the hinge bar. And if you don't know what that means, it's basically this. So a bar, you'd put your finger down on the neck over the strings. A hinge bar, you're going to go like this, and it hinges at that first knuckle, and you can cover 2 strings there instead of covering more. Because we want these higher strings to ring out. So if you hinge it like that, that's what I'm talking about with the hinge bar like that. That's the E5 over B, and then back to the E5. Okay, so all together we've got... That's what I would do first, just kind of get the shapes going, because that's going to run for the intro, verse, and most of the chorus, except for that little break part. Next, rhythm. I've seen this scored a bunch of different times and ways, and you know me, I try to make things simple, because I know that most of you probably don't have degrees in music. So what I've done is scored it out as simply as I possibly could. It's a 16th note based rhythm. Beat 1 is just a quarter note in every measure, and that's your bass note, root note by itself. You know? And that falls on 1 and then on the end of 3 in each measure, and that's kind of how that sounds. Beat 2 is 2, and then it's a dotted 8th note, and then there's a 16th note. So it's 2, and it's also ah. 2, E, and ah. E and is not there because this is a dotted 8th note. An 8th note gets the value of 2/16. The dot adds the third 16th, and then there's another 16th at the end. So it's 1, 2, ah. 1, 2, ah. And that's what that feels like. Beat 3 is 3E and. 3E and. Ah is not there because the and is an 8th note. The 8th note gets the value of 2/16. So it's 1, 2, 3E and. And then we have beat 4, and that's 4 and ah. E is not there because this is an 8th note, gets the value of 2/16, takes care of this one, and then we have and ah. 4 and ah. So you've got 1, 2, ah, 3 E and, 4 and ah. If you're not used to doing that, get used to it, because that's, you know, guitar playing is rhythm, and again, most of the guys don't want to talk about that on these YouTube videos because it's hard. But if you're not thinking that and you're not understanding it, you can mimic tablature all day long, but are you getting the groove right? Are you playing it with a metronome? Probably not. You know, so these are the things that I like to teach. I'm going to include a score PDF file in GP6 format with every video. Fingersonthefrets.com. That's where you want to go. You really want to learn how to play. There is tablature in there for those of you that can't read the music. But I will require rhythm reading. Why not? It's more fun that way. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and a 1, 2, 3, and 4, and a 1. When you have a 16th note based rhythm, you subdivide every 16th note down here gently. I don't mean this. I mean just gently keeping a nice bounce. Because as soon as I go like this, it's like a brick falling to the ground on beat 1. Well, if I'm not subdividing E and A, I'm not ready for beat 2 as a down again. So 1, 2, A. You see how my hand's subdividing through the 16ths, even though I might play a quarter note, doesn't matter. I'm still going to subdivide. 1, 2, A, 3, E, and 4, and A. So in effect, when you see 16th notes in your notation, you're literally going to play the movement of 16th notes or movements in that measure. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and then you only play the ones that are marked, the appropriate ones. 1, 2, 3 E and 4 and 1, 2, 3 E and 4. Lucky for you, this song is repetitive. Play that rhythm pretty much the whole time. So instead of playing the bass notes, because that makes it even more challenging, let's just go through the chords. Okay, and that's a little muddy sounding, so we want to hit that definitive bass note on the introductory note of each chord, like this. Okay, we're going to shoot over to measure 25 if you're looking at the PDF download or my sheet music. What you've got now is the ending of the chorus part where he goes, crash into me, yeah. So it's... So the beginning of that measure is the same, but on the end of 3 we're going to go right to the E over G sharp chord. On the E of beat 4 we're going to go to the A sus2 chord, and then we're going to go to, on beat 1 of the next measure, the E5 over B, and then E major, or E5. You can just go, or just E major, whichever one you like. And then, the money chord is F sharp minor 7, add 11, no 5, or F sharp minor 11 if you want to be, which is really fun. F sharp, skip a string, mute it with the angle of the second finger, we have an E and then an A, and then an open E and an open E. And you want to drag that pick around slowly to make it sound kind of cool. That's what the squiggly line notation is there. That holds for 2 measures. Then it starts over. Now I'm sure there's some other little doodads in there. Violins and Tim Reynolds when he played the solos and stuff. But this will get you going through the tune. So, you've got your ball, you've got your chain tied to me, tie me up again. Who's got the claws in you, my friend? In your heart I'll be dead. You get the idea. So, good luck with that. That's Crash Into Me by Dave Matthews Band. And this is Doug Edgell from Fingersonthefrets.com. Please check out my website. There's tons of videos on there, and I talk about some jazz, fingerpicking, and some guitar soloing, and different things. A lot of nice tunes on here. I hope to see you again soon. Thanks for watching.